An untouched abandoned house in the Netherlands, rich in preserved family history. It's almost unheard of. For the past 8 years, I've searched, exploring many forgotten corners of my country, and I've never seen anything like this.
Ik weet nog goed, ik had mijn jas aan. Ik sliep nog half.
A man of the sea once called this house home. Mr. Evert, a ship captain, a salesman, a collector of stories.
Ik zet mijn voet op het zwarte water, laat mijn boot en vrienden achter. Mijn blik verankerd in de zijne, doet de held in mij verdwijnen.
His love for the water bled into every part of this house. Steering wheels from ships still rest on the walls. Compasses still point to forgotten directions.
Ik voelde hoe sterk de wind was.
His world was the open sea, yet this house was his anchor.
Hij was nog zo ver weg.
But anchors don't always hold forever. In 2010, Evert took his final voyage.
Ik zet mijn voet op het zwarte water, laat mijn boot en vrienden achter. Mijn blik verankerd in de zijne, doet de held in mij verdwijnen.
His wife, Geesien, had left 3 years before him, and without them, the house became nothing more than a ghost ship, a forgotten vessel, adrift in time. Since then, their home has remained untouched, locked in a family dispute over its future. Even now, as I walk through these rooms, I feel it. The wave of memories of a life once lived. This is more than just an abandoned house. This is the last dock of a captain who never set sail again. And today, we step aboard his final voyage. So welcome back everyone on a brand new video, and today I'm actually in the Netherlands again, and I have a very unique place to show you. But this was not my own discovery. I'm here together with a friend today. This is Desmond, and he actually discovered the place. And yeah, can you tell them a little bit more about your experience, the adventure, how you discovered this place? Because this place is ultimately rare to find in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I'm completely
blown away.
Yeah,
I understand, man. It was like on a Saturday evening or Sunday morning, I don't know, and I was just looking on maps and try to find some abandoned places. So actually I was looking around in the Netherlands, and yeah, it just looked abandoned. So we drove for like 3-4 hours to get to this place.
This place is far away, also from my city.
It is. So yeah, once we got here, there were some people passing by, and we spoke to one of the neighbors around here, and he actually told me that the house set for like 10 years or so. So
a long time
yeah,
to be in this condition.
Yeah. It is, and even when you look through some papers, you have already seen it, but you can see the documentation from how long it's been abandoned, when the people passed away. So yeah, it's a unique discovery, man.
Yeah, well, you did a great job on it.
Thanks a lot, man.
And I think you're gonna enjoy this place today. Yeah, check his channel out and help him to the 1,000 subscribers. And like he mentioned, the story of this home is also very beautiful and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
It was actually owned by a Dutch couple, and it was Evert and Geesien. And Geesien was the woman, and she went first in 2007, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
it was 2007, yeah.
And Evert, the man, eventually passed away in 2010. And ever since, the house is just left neglected. He told me that there is a family debate going on about who gets what. Is the house being sold or renovated, or will it be demolished? And they still haven't found an agreement yet. And that's actually the reason why it's still left like this for 10 years now. Still in great condition. And what's really, really cool is that Evert was a sailorman or a skipper, like you can also say it. And everywhere throughout his home there is these nautic ornaments. So he actually, like, all different parts from ships and everything are just being displayed everywhere throughout the home.
It's amazing, man. You have seen some compasses around here, like, and I'm not sure how you say it in English, but the steering wheel for a boat.
The big wheels.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's very fascinating. So yeah, without further ado, I cannot wait to show you this place. So let's go, man.
Let's go, man.
So like always, I'll put on my mask and my gloves so I can explore this place safely, and yeah, time to explore. I'm starting this explore in their main living area, and firstly I will slowly pan through this complete room because it's overstuffed, and I just want to give you an overview of what I'm gonna go through in more detail. So right over here is a door leading to a corridor. We're gonna do it later. Firstly, I'm gonna show you this room. And immediately right over here, there is a wonderful clock. It's a very, very special one in a style that I've not seen many times before. Look at it. It's completely painted and everything. It looks very, very nice. There is already the first ornament of a ship, this clock. It's actually funny because I used to work on a boat as a bartender for 3 years, from my 14th to my 17th age, and I still remember a lot of things which I've seen in the ship that are spread across the house. Some hats over here. Oh, this is, I think, from Black Pete. It's a traditional party in the Netherlands. There's been a lot of debates going on about protests, demonstrations. People thought it was racistic, but yeah, personally I think it's just a Dutch tradition, and I never linked it with racism. Yet there is another clock over here, also a fairly beautiful one. There is so many tiny things inside this home. I just want to point out most of them. Look over here, also the old books. They're all written in Dutch, of course. Over here would be songs inside, and they are actually religious. So let's walk through this corner over here. I'm wondering, these people, they do not seem very organized who live there. There are so many tiny things. Over here is a cowbell. I still remember it from Switzerland if I hear that sound. You can hear the cowbells in the background. Wonderful French style lamp here. I think these people also had grandchildren coming over. There were some children toys, binoculars, And also a game over here. And then look over here. I think Mr. Evert also did some hunting in his leisure time. There's this huge hunting rifle. It's a big one and also a fairly heavy one. Oh. But yeah, over there it's iron and this is actually made from wood. I'm not going to touch it because it might still fire. Also some religious ornaments on the wall. On the ground there are some boxes. With some antique things. Look at this clock, for example. Oh, and this is also really cool. I think this little box here was for ink and you could put a stamp in it and then eventually you could put the stamp on a paper. There were some speakers, so when they were still living here they were probably listening to music and just enjoying their life. This was their homely place and you can tell because there is a lot of personal items and belongings. Over here is the first model ship and we will find plenty of them. Also look at the way this house is constructed with all the wooden trunks and bars. It's very fascinating. The stone floor. Even still the last wood is inside of the fireplace over here. A net in front. The tools are still on the left side. And then on top there is a nautic compass. Another ship. And some eggs. I think they were a sign of good luck. I assume that these people also had a dog because of the sign over here, I'm guarding. Enter at your own risk. Oh, how neat this fireplace is. Very traditional. And then right next to it, there is also a bellows. This place must have been so wonderful and cozy back in its days. I mean, they also had lamps over here as decoration. So imagine all the electricity would be on. It would be such a warm and cozy place. I have a strong imagination of how this was once filled with life, and it's so sad to see that it's now just left unloved and vacant for already more than a decade. Here are also these pots where they used to boil the water with. Then over here they had another sitting corner. Also a lot of things have been stored in boxes. There is a lot of books, but also these very vintage train parts. I think they are quite valuable. I really like them. It's definitely a collector's item, I think, for many people from back in these days. It's great because it's winter time, but slowly the sun is coming out outside. In the middle over here they had a table, and I'm gonna blur this out, of course, but those were the two death notes of Evert and his woman, Geesien. 2007 and respectively 2010 for Evert. There is also still newspapers, so I think they are also dated from 2010. Oh no, they are dated from 2015. So that's strange. Somebody was still inside after the original owners actually passed away. Maybe some of the inheritance. Yet they are still fighting about who gets what. It's always hard to imagine for me that people are like that. I think this case over here actually used to be for a vintage camera. There is a porcelain pot. Over here on top of these marble blocks on the heater, there is actually an old photo. And this was the man, Mr. Evert. There are some other tiny things here on the table. Literally, these people collected so many items. I really like this painting over here. Looks properly old. Then as well here in the corner, there's many tiny figurines and ornaments. Then on top of this desk over here, there is many personal photos left behind. Over here we can see the man, his woman, so Evert and Geesien. Those were probably their grandchildren. I don't know how much children they had themselves, but I think it were definitely more than one, 2 or 3. Look over here, the little boy on the rocking horse. Looks very adorable. What I also noticed on the table is that there is many glasses. Look over here. All these glasses. There is a watch as well. And then there is actually an award of 1979 of the Ship Center in appreciation for outstanding sales and marketing of Yamaha outboard motors during 1979. So I think this man also had a business maybe in motors of ships. A lot of things are possible. Look at this little booklet over here. So this was actually from the local bank. And they were collecting all these things. Look, this was from him. Oh, and it was when they were saving money and they would write everything down in this little booklet over here. Nowadays we definitely do not do it like that anymore. It's very old-fashioned. And let's continue throughout the home, and as you can see we still have a lot to go, only in the living area. Then there on the table there is actually a lot of mess, many paperwork, some books, and of course the flag from the Netherlands. Oh, look over here. There is actually an old-fashioned spinning wheel. And then right behind it, this is absolutely cool. Between the cobwebs, there is actually this holder for all these smoking pipes. They're still inside, almost all of them. Also here next to it, on the rack, many bottles of wine. And there is another painting. I think it was from the same artist. A secretary desk. And if I open it, there is again many of their administration and paperwork, files, everything left behind. Also some pens and pencils. Another calendar from 1998. My year of birth. And over here again on the wall, they had an antler. And the antler was holding some, yeah, I don't know, looks like this was made by a child. Maybe a present for them. Some dolls. It looks like the man definitely had a company, because over here is his name again on this ticket. With an address as well. And look down beneath everything. There are actually some old photos. I think again, this was the man in his younger days. And those were all child photos of him. You literally do not know where to look in this place. There are so many things, and of course I want to be too rough as possible and show you everything, but I have to take close attention to all the details, because you easily miss out on some cool artifacts. That door over there was actually going to the outside. Some detailed chinaware. And again, the same photo of Mr. Evert. Some fake roses. There is a clock over there, and again some fake bouquets of flowers. And there is also this plane with the sign of the Nazis of the Second World War. It's actually a fact that Mr. Evert and his woman experienced World War II. And another fact of them is that they were fond of painting. Look over here. It's a very professional set. A lot of different paint inside. This was the board to mix all the colors. Oh, there is even a gas mask here on the table. Literally the strangest things inside of this home. Another set for painting. And over here there is this wooden figurine of a sailorman. I think Mr. Evert mostly did sailing in the country itself, because the place is also close to a harbor and to the big sea. This even could have been a little dollhouse. Right now it's just filled with wood. Then look at these massive boots over here. Well, at least I think you will never have cold feet inside of these shoes. They look very warm and comfortable. Lastly, I want to check out if I can open this cabinet over here. I'm curious what's inside. There is a key. And yeah, it opens. Whoa! My gosh. It's entirely filled with a lot of glasses. Completely left pristine. It's still in mint condition. The only thing which is taking over is actually mold, because of the moisture of the air. Alright, let's close it again. So on this box there is written denture prosthesis of Evert. I'm not sure if the denture of the former man who lived there is still inside, but let's check it out. Oh my, it's still there and it's repulsive. I will never touch this with my bare hands, and I'm not even touching it with my gloves, but look inside. There's the denture of Mr. Evert. And I'm putting it back and closing it again because, yeah, it's not the most clean thing you can find inside of an abandoned place. Now the most unique thing about this home I find actually the way it's been designed, because you even had this staircase over here going up, and from there we can actually capture a wonderful overview over the entire living area down below. It's quite massive in size, not like a usual living room which you would expect inside of an abandoned house. And that makes this place very interesting. Of course, it's definitely messy. There are still so many valuable items and personal belongings, and the story is just mesmerizing. Now we actually came on the upstairs over here, and this was another little part. They had a baby bed over here, this desk where they would probably work, and there was even a little banjo guitar. Look! This was storage for mainly books and papers. Still an old cigar box over here. It's actually a Dutch cigar brand. some letters. But it's very, very narrow inside of this room. Where they use this actually as a wardrobe. Still many coats, and look at the amount of cobwebs. Ridiculous. Even still the tags of this jacket are still hanging there. You will get a discount of 140 euros. I'm not sure, I don't think so, at the cashing counter. Oh, and also over here, still many of their shoes. And you remember when I was talking about the case for the vintage camera? Well, I think I found it. Look at it. It's a very vintage one. I think you could even bend this part out, but I don't know how it works and I do not want to demolish it, so I would just leave it like this. Another tiny storage over here. And then from there, we're actually going to another room here. I think you can mainly regard this as an attic part that was used for storage purposes. Wow. There's again two vintage clocks standing here on the shelves. Look, they're wonderful. And also an old-fashioned coffee grinder, very rusty. Wow, what is this? Oh, this was actually for the storage of port wine. I've never seen this before. There is a bottle inside, and over here you can actually pour the wine inside, and then where it will be collected, and you could take it like that. And it's fairly heavy. I cannot even lift it. I really love the amount of vintage items inside. Look again, there is a very old-fashioned cashing counter of the brand 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆, and the price was even still in the old currency of the Netherlands, so not in euros, but no, in gulden. The first 3 years I was alive, they were using this currency, but in 2002 the euro was born, and ever since, almost everywhere in Europe they are using the euro. Over there, the hammers for a game. There is also a racetrack for a child. Wow, and look over here, in this tiny cabinet. This was actually their medicine shaft. There was also still some instructions of how to help someone in case of emergency. Wonderful. Still a red cross on it too. I can't believe there is still so much stuff left inside. Over here there's also some antique portraits. These must have been the ancestors of the family of Mr. Evert and Mrs. Geesien. Wow. Look at these old photos. Also over here, this was from a ship. Oh. And I think this was a painting which was made by them. That's just simply amazing. Yes, it was made by him in 1930, or made by her, of course. At least, whether it was Mrs. Geesien or Mr. Evert, they also had a huge passion for painting, and they loved art and collecting many vintage items. Well, the attic has been very, very decayed. Over here there's even still a sewing machine left inside, but it's locked. The cover of it and inside of the box is still the sewing machine because it's very heavy. And then the roof over here, it's terribly decayed. The TV antenna over there is just hanging, just fell down from above. And there is a lot of spider webs, so let's get out of this part. And remember when I told you about the green door at the very beginning? That's where we're going to right now. We're gonna explore the rest. So that means the hallway. And what am I touching right now? Oh, apparently something else. Yeah, let's go to the rest and let's show you that. So follow me along to the next part inside the home. There are still wonderful things to see. And firstly, I want to make my way through the hallway over here. Again, there is a beautiful painting here on the wall. You can also see many cobwebs on the ceiling, so you can definitely tell that this place is a time capsule. It's been sitting here vacant for decades. Still some old calendars over here from 1959. Look at this calendar. It's actually from the Maritime from 1966. Oh, the Telegraaf, that's a Dutch newspaper, and I think this is a very old piece. 28 year, let's see for a date, 1920. This was 2 decades before World War II started. This is a very, very valuable piece. I sincerely hope that nobody finds out about this place because there are so many valuable vintage items inside. It's mind-blowing. Now let's go through this part and be careful for the cobwebs because there is plenty of them. Many bottles of liquor over here on top of the cabinet. This is something my dad really likes. Advocate. Let's see inside. What's this? Oh, it's actually an old sewing box. And then we actually make our way to their dining part. This was the home where they had breakfast, lunch and dinner every day. Just gathering around as a family around the table over here. And look, a flag from Canada. So maybe they also really like traveling. Over here is also a wonderful upright piano, by the way, which you just saw. But besides that, this pot was actually used to store tobacco. It's written on there, tabak, the Dutch word for tobacco. Also again a vintage scale over here. And it's still working. And this was a part of a car NL from the Netherlands. It used to be on cars, and normally it has a red color, but in this case it's just completely rusty and it's just brown. Also a compass again. Oh no, this is from a ship, but this is not a compass, it's actually a thermometer. It's 9 degrees inside now. I think that's quite accurate. Some little tools over here, some paper clips. Let's see, over here is a calendar on the wall from 1998 again. Oh, it's hard to move myself through here, but over here is again also some plates on the wall. And then I'm really curious if there is still something in the fridge or the freezer. But no, it's luckily completely emptied out because otherwise the smell would have been awful. I think I cannot open the piano, but like you could see, this was a wonderful upright piano. And I'm wondering, I think it was Mrs. Geesien or it was Mr. Evert who played piano, but I don't know. Oh, This was his identity card. And I think this one over here, yeah, this was his wife. Like you've seen her on the photos too. Those were their identity cards from 1920. That's a very, very long time ago. Again, there is a Dutch license plate, very strange. And we can see Mrs. Geesien also on top of the upright piano over here, because those are some photos of her, together with some keys, and some very old photos of children, and I guess this was them in their younger days. Oh look, that's very traditional Dutch. Also again a nautic ornament here in the bottle. You know what this was? This was for the medicines. You can even still see all the pulverized pills inside for each day of the week, Sunday till Saturday. And then the times over here. Still all the pills are inside of it. It's hard to believe, but it's just left like this. And it's really sad. You can tell that these people actually were of older age, and they probably also passed away of an older age. I just really hope that they lived a happy, healthy and long-lasting life, and yeah, with a lot of joy. And I'm very thankful to actually explore their wonderful house today. And then lastly, I want to point out this wonderful painted cabinet, which is dated from 1831, and everything on it is hand painted. The flowers, the patterns. It's very, very beautiful. Inside there are still some food products, and also the last calendar date when they came to pick up the trash from 2010. And then on top there is also some glass. I think this was actually to store their liquor inside. And then from there we actually go to their kitchen, which is very, very messy. Please mind your step because there is a lot of things on the ground. But you can tell how pristine everything is left behind. Their glasses, their chinaware, their plates, just everything. It's like nobody of the family or the inheritance ever even thought of it about coming back and just saving the items, but no. Instead they started a family debate and they just left everything unloved. It's hard to believe. A bottle of Bacardi, rum. There's some pans over here. The sink. The water is turned off. Just all their cleaning products, and yeah, some everyday kitchen items. I guess this shelf over here was for the cutlery. Where are still some spoons. Might even be silver spoons. But again, some very interesting details on it. Let's see. Wow, that is amazing. This is one of those vintage grooming kits. You had a mirror inside, and then over here you had all the things you needed. Look, even over here to style your hair. It's very rusty. But it's empty, this one. I think it was never even used. But I've seen grooming kits like this before, and I really like the concept, and nowadays you hardly see them anymore. So we just filmed the kitchen, we just even filmed the living room. Right now I just want to walk along the corridor and show you the rest. For example, their bedroom. Look at the traditional white tiles over here. And these people, they had a strong Roman Catholic belief. There was a crucifix here on the wall. Just look at all the ornaments. Ah, this place just sparks my mind. Some people might not understand it because, yes, obviously messy, but just the things which are inside is absolutely fascinating. So this was a bedroom. And it's only one bed, so... Oh, but you can tell, over there used to stand another one right next to it. And probably Mr. Evert took it out because Mrs. Geesien passed away in 2007, 3 years earlier. So he just removed the bed, and this was his bed until his last years of life. Again, still all their grooming products and everything. Even a razor over here. Parts of the ceiling and blocks which just have fallen down on that table. And also some shoes here. And this makes me very, very sad again. Look, this was Mr. Evert in his very, very last years of life. You can see him here sitting on the sofa in his own house. That was him. It really makes you aware of the impermanence of life again. And that death is just real. One day we all go. And then you really hope that your descendants actually take care of your belongings and don't start a family debate and just leave it to rot and to waste, like there is the case in this home. Look, again an old photo in this purse. And this is an identity card. I'm looking to it. It's from 2000. And it's not an identity card. No, this is a driver license. Whoa! I've never seen a driver license like this. Yeah, where it's written. Kingdom of the Netherlands, driver license. This was of Mrs. Geesien. It's written over here. So she was still driving a car at older age. Wow. I have so much respect for her that she still was able to do that. So she still was also very vital in her older days. Despite some medical conditions. A lot of wool there. And again, many, many clothes. Time to go through the next part of the corridor. And look at the mesmerizing antique portraits over here on the wall. This was from a woman, and then on the other side there's actually one of a man. And they look properly antique. Over here was actually a bathroom, which is in a very bad state of disrepair. There was even black mold. Wallpaper is completely peeling off, and it was made of old newspapers. Still all their bedding products are there too. This lamp also used to be a part of a ship. Again, I will mention it one other time. Look the way this house has been constructed. It's absolutely interesting. Also all the wooden ornaments on top of the walls, the ceilings. There was even a scythe here on the ground, so maybe they were also involved in agriculture. This was their liquor storage. And down below, the storage actually continued. And there's plenty of wine bottles. And a crate of beer bottles. Now this is maybe even my favorite part of the complete house. Over here in this corner, it's a complete collection of all these nautic items. They all are related to maritime and yeah, a lot of nautic things. So probably they stopped the car in front of the property, so we have to be careful now. Gonna try to do this quick. Over here was the engine room. At least they call it like that, like we are in a ship actually. It's a wooden door. the agent. So we are caught. We'll quickly rush through everything we are caught anyways now, but yeah, we're in another room. A lot of items. Okay, we have to go out.
Okay.
Leslie is also here, by the way.
So we just saw a car. Yeah.
Let's go and let's return maybe on another time point. This was the outside of the home. It's still a car. I hope I took all my stuff, by the way. I really hope I have everything, because we were panicking. We were inside with 7 people, imagine guys, a lot of friends gathering around, filming a bando. But yeah, I was luckily, I think, able to capture the most interesting things, yeah. Many features in the home, and I hope I captured the essence of this place. I'm sorry that the end might have been a little bit rushy, but we didn't have a good feeling inside the place, so we just listened to our gut feeling and went away, especially after a car just parked in front of the property. So yeah, I thoroughly want to thank everybody for watching to this video, and also again my friend who actually took me, 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝗆. Check him out. Video link for his channel link in the description of this video. So yeah, help this guy to 1,000 subscribers, and what's left for you is thanks a lot. If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill, please hit the like button. You can also subscribe to our channel right down below for free, and leave your thoughts in the comment section right down below. And then from the wonderful polder landscape here in the Netherlands, I want to say bye bye, and we will see you on the next adventure.
Next week on Explomo, we'll be exploring this epic abandoned castle in France. Definitely don't miss out on this incredible journey back in time.